Trouties. There's issues with my internet connection, and I will introduce myself and then tell you why. My name is Sierra Bailey. I am the designer, the maker, the everythinger here at Manic Trout, and on Fridays I go live. I actually spent a little bit this week putting all of the videos over also on YouTube. So I might call them Fridays Live with Sierra now to remove a brand name. But I do them live from Facebook, and I love to say hello to all of you Trouties out there. So big news in Manic Troutland. I live in Austin, Texas, where in the past 6 years, it gets a little chilly in the winter. But last night, it snowed, woke up this morning and the trees were still covered and it was crazy. All of Austin and most of Texas lost its collective mind. It was quite exciting. So we've had a little bit of spotty internet since then. So if I go somewhere, that is why. We also, all of our Christmas lights outside went out, and my husband thinks he's Clark Griswold and he was not home. And I had to call him and tell him black, everything gone. I fixed it. There was a reset button that was actually in our bathroom, random. But, yeah. So here I am, Friday, live, lots of stories. I want to talk today about, 'tis the shopping season, buying jewelry for other people. And I'm going to say right now that I'm not necessarily saying that this is not about like buying Manic Trout, although, thank you if you're buying Manic Trout for other people. But just in general, I have a lot of people that come to me and ask, how do I find out like what jewelry somebody will like? And I have a lot of experience figuring out the jewelry that people like and their style and things like that. Plus, 15 years in the business, I know my jewelry. So let's say the first thing is, you may have seen the post that I put on Facebook earlier this week, which was a very kind of funny anecdote that the #1 returned gift includes gum. I don't know who's buying gum for people, but I assume that they mean like some big, fun, ornate pack. So I actually have to laugh every time I hear the ads for like berries covered in chocolate for the holidays, because I think those fall into the candy, food, gum, most returned item for the holidays. So know that. I looked at a lot of articles that talked about that and tallied it up, and that was #1 across the board for women. Women do not want to receive food for Christmas. That's just it. They are also returning toddlers' clothing, and which probably is due to size, and sweaters, specifically sweaters, also kind of odd. But I will say of excitingness that the #1 not returned item purchased for Christmas for women is jewelry. The #2, anti-aging skincare. Now, I love me some anti-aging skincare. I'm not sure how much I would want to receive it unless I specifically told somebody what I wanted. And the #3 is watches, which kind of delighted me because I love watches, although I suspect now it's more like the tech watch than anything else. But as the #1 non-returned gift for women is jewelry, let's talk about how you buy jewelry for a woman. All right, so the first thing that you should do if you want to buy jewelry for a woman is think about what she likes. Look at her. If she's wearing jewelry, high indication. Women kind of fall into both camps, but this is not a hard and fast rule. But you have your women that wear different jewelry every day. Usually they keep like their engagement and wedding band on, but they'll change like their necklace, earrings, and everything. And then you have the woman that puts on one necklace and never takes it off again. It may be like seasonal or whatever, but it's usually like a chain with like a charm of some sort, and that's all they wear. So if you have somebody that like never takes their jewelry off, think really hard about what kind of jewelry you're going to get for them, because if they're wearing the exact same thing every day, you either need to get something that's going to replace that same thing they're wearing every day or complement it. So if somebody wears like a chain with some very simple stud earrings like every single day, they're probably more into fine jewelry that they can live in, and they probably want something very simple and stud-like. Like maybe if they always wear the same necklace, maybe like a little pair of studs or tiny hoops or something like that. So that's like the path that you would go for them. If this is somebody that changes their jewelry all the time, they're either going to change their jewelry all the time in like a simple, maybe different chains, or they're a potential trouty and then they're always changing their colors and wearing big statement jewelry. If that's the case, you come to Manic Trout. But that doesn't solve your problem. There's a lot of jewelry that is made by me, as there is a lot of jewelry out there. So my favorite tool is Facebook for doing this. What I do, if somebody comes to me and says, oh, I would love to get something for, more often than not, it's somebody that we have in common, and that's why they are coming to me asking. But if it is somebody even that I know, I will go to their Facebook page, and even if you just like scroll through their photos, you start to see specific colors that they wear all the time. P.S. Color of the year this year of Pantone is a purple. I don't remember the name of it, but it is going to be a color that is seen everywhere. So if you have no idea and don't want to do this, something purple might be safe. As are sparkly neutrals, as you trouties, I'm a trouty, like to call like a black or a gray or a white, especially if it has like a little, gold or silver in there, or it has a little sparkle in it. A sparkly neutral goes with everything and looks good on most people. So those are safe bets. But if you want to have fun with color, as I love color here at Manic Trout, applaud that. Think about what you see them in all the time. Now, if you notice that they don't really wear color, or you want to just go with what you like color-wise, that is fine too. But do think about, like, not everybody has the complexion to wear. I don't think I have any bright yellow at the moment, but in the past, like that necklace up there would not look good on everybody. It would look good on people that really look better in yellow. So think about their skin tone, things like that, if you're going with colorful jewelry. This works too for like scarves or clothing and things like that. Although apparently don't buy sweaters because they're very returned. But the number one thing really to keep in mind is make sure the style is similar. I know a lot of women have husbands that like to buy jewelry for them, and sometimes they completely disregard what the women like to wear, and then it's like awkward. Do we all remember that, Friends? When Ross bought Rachel the earrings and she just like never wore them and hid them because they weren't her style. Nobody wants to buy somebody jewelry that does that. So try to take some cues from people. Now, the other thing besides the color and kind of the style is where they're wearing jewelry. I don't know how you feel about it, but the rules have kind of changed. It used to be more like, there used to be more obvious like nighttime or daytime jewelry, but that weird trend, not weird, but that trend that was out with like the big fake rhinestone necklaces, I feel kind of like blurred those lines, because I used to think of that as like a nighttime jewelry thing. And now I think, like, I do tend to think that much of the jewelry that I design and make is more like work, daytime jewelry. I wear it at night all the time, so not to say you can't, but there are kind of different places to wear them. So, for example, some trouties go to work every day, and if they're going to work every day, they are wanting to wear something that can look professional and can, make them feel pulled together and things like that, and they're usually wearing like certain clothes for that. So when you're buying jewelry for somebody, think about like where they're wearing jewelry. If there's somebody that works at home and wears like yoga pants all day long, but has to go to like client dinners all the time and is getting more dressed up at night, and that's when they're putting their jewelry on, then you may want to think like that way. Like, oh, I know that, random person Sarah is always wearing like black cocktail dresses, therefore maybe like a really cool pair of big earrings or like a bracelet might go really nicely with that. So you're not only thinking about like the colors and the style, but actually where they're wearing the jewelry and what they're wearing it with. The other thing that I often think about is like, I live in Texas, so in the winter, I tend to wear bigger jewelry than in the summer. So sometimes like around the holidays, you want things that you can wear then. That's hence all those sweaters that are being bought. So like you could think about it that way too. But like I said, the best thing that you can do these days is go to somebody's social media feed, look through like their Facebook or their Instagram pictures and just see the kind of things. Now, it could be, I have in the past, I have younger sisters, maybe purchase something for them for a gift that I know they've been wanting, but they don't actually wear that yet. So don't think that like, oh, I never see them in like a big necklace. It just could be because they haven't felt that they could treat themselves to like a handmade piece of statement jewelry. That is definitely a possibility. Like my M by Manic Trout collection are all super big, but they're not really the affordable price range because they are handmade art jewelry. So like something like that, you may not see them in all the time, but it doesn't mean they wouldn't like it. So like I said, it kind of like, think about where they're wearing it. If somebody goes to work and wears jewelry with their work clothes, they would love jewelry like this, most likely, unless they're, one of those people that wear the chain that they're always wearing. But where they're wearing them, what they're wearing them with. And, you know, like I said, with the Austin thing, their climate a little bit, it does come into play. I don't really have an example of that at the moment, so that's not a very good one. I'm kind of like, you know, flying loose on this one today. I have a show tonight at like a private place, and I don't know. I get like anxiety over not knowing where I'm going. But anyway, I believe in like an hour. So, and the other thing about buying gifts for people is you should, as we've learned of people returning them, buy them from places that have a return policy. Also, gift certificates are a great idea. I mean, most people have gift certificates on their sites. Mine are like, you just download a code so you can get them at the very last minute and then just print out something or just write it into a card for somebody. It's really easy online nowadays. If you're really stumped, you can just absolutely get somebody a gift card if it's to a brand that they like. Like, I know a lot of people are like, oh, I know that somebody in my life loves Manic Trout. I have no idea what they already own. A lot of the Trouties have a lot of jewelry. So getting them a gift certificate is totally okay. Some people are like, well, gift certificates are not personal. Well, if they're to a very specific store that you, or brand that you know somebody loves, that's absolutely personal. That means that you've paid attention to where they like to shop. You just don't know exactly what they want. Totally legit. Gift certificates are the way to go. But in general, when you're buying gifts, I would take a look. Like, I have a return policy of 90 days. It's just a little bit safer for the gift side. Although, you know, like I said, the jewelry are the keepers, unlike the gum. I still don't understand that. So I would not shy away from buying something like jewelry. Sometimes when I'm like, oh, do I want to give somebody jewelry? I'm like, it's a very personal thing. But at the same time, it's a really kind of fun way to like treat something to somebody that they may not. You know, I also like, I know a lot of the Trouties always have like a running list of what they want. You can always ask people. Oh my God. When I was like, when we hit teenager years, like in our life, my mom would be like, can you just email me links? It makes my life so much easier. You may be lucky enough. I know, like, on my own website, you can actually click on the item and then like send an email suggestion to people. It works really well for husbands, but it's sometimes easier to just say, hey, if you're looking for something to get me, check out this store or whatever. I mean, that's more of if you're asking for things, not if you want. But you also, I remember in college, like a friend of mine's boyfriend wanted to buy a piece of, not like, you know, college is kind of weird because some people are proposing, some people are way away from that. So it's like jewelry can be scary. So jewelry like like this kind of jewelry is safe at that time of life. But it was so easy to go ask a roommate. You just say like, what do they like? What direction do they want to go? Besides like the scanning the Facebook photos, you actually, I think you can still look and see what pages people like. And that's a great way to find brands that friends like, or even go to a brand that you know. Like if you go to the Manic Trout Facebook page, you can see which friends of yours also like it. So like that's a great way to do it too. The best gifts do require a little bit of homework. It depends on, you know, how close the person is to you, but I'm assuming if you want to buy somebody jewelry, you know them pretty well. Maybe it's like your daughter-in-law and you would love to get her something that's special and that, you know, is pretty and would make her feel wonderful when she puts it on. And that's awesome. Just do a little looking around and you'll be able to find her something that she will love. Actually, daughter-in-laws are great people to buy jewelry for because you're usually wanting to buy, you know, something, a nice gift. And some like jewelry like this, you know, things, or even if somebody has a child, getting them like the little like initial thing, things like that, always welcome. Women love them. And as we have found out, do not return them. All right, Trouties, that was a video to talk about buying jewelry for people. If you are shopping from Manic Trout, you have until December 18th for the normal free shipping over $50, the not only 1 day difference of getting the priority. So you still have some time if you're watching this live or even in the next few days. As it's Friday, I, Sierra, am here on Facebook, going live 1 p.m. Central, where I will be next week. In the meantime, please follow the Manic Trout Facebook page, which I think you can click right on my icon, which is something like this, right above. I also check the comments of these videos. I'm always around. And in case you didn't know, I talked about it last week, but there's now a Trouty community. If you click on the community part, it's a group and it's linked to the Manic Trout Facebook page, but there's now a little community so that you can actually like see posts really and talk to each other in there. And I was asking some questions about animals this morning. What's your favorite? If you want to answer that, join that group. It is closed, so we don't get spammers, but I will instantly approve you if you'd like to come into that, and I'd love to have you join. But I also am on Instagram, Twitter, Polyvore, Pinterest, all the places as Manic Trout. Again, I'm Sierra Bailey. I loved talking to you Trouties today on Fridays Live with Sierra. It's an evolution, people. It's an evolution. And I will see you next week at 1 p.m. Central. Have a fantastic weekend, Trouties.